You know, family entertainment isn't just for kids, it's for all of us. And this is why I make it. Okay, so why do I want to create animated family entertainment? I once heard a great analogy that stuck with me. Imagine movies and the people who watch them like a pyramid. And at the base of that pyramid is family entertainment, rated G. Now these are films that anybody can watch without worrying if the content might be too intense or inappropriate for certain viewers. And as you move up the pyramid, you start narrowing that audience. PG sits above G, then PG-13, and then R, and then NC-17. And at the very tip top of the pyramid, you've got the most mature, restricted content, seen by only a small fraction of the audience. Now, if you visualize each section of that pyramid in terms of audience size, it's pretty clear the higher you go up in maturity, the smaller your audience becomes. That's just the math of it. And for me, as a storyteller, someone who pours my heart and soul into my work, I know everyone does, but I want as many people as possible to experience the stories that I create. Why would I intentionally limit that? Why would I want to shrink my audience? Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean I only want to write or make films for kids. That's a common misconception. People hear family entertainment and they think it means simple or silly or just for children. But that's not how I see it at all. See, when I create a film, I'm creating it for everyone. For kids, yes, but also for adults and grandparents, date night moviegoers, animation lovers of all ages. And I believe that when it's done well, the same story can speak to an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old at the same time. Kids don't need to be written down to. They experience the full range of emotions just like adults do. They experience fear and joy and grief and awe. They understand nuance more than we give them credit for. And when we write with honesty and empathy and with intention, that story can land with both the young and the young at heart. Now think about some of the most beloved films of all time, like Star Wars, The Lion King, Bambi, The Wizard of Oz. These stories embedded themselves into our culture because they resonated across generations. When The Lion King came out, we knew we were onto something special. Sure, our bullseye demographic was that 8 to 12-year-old crowd, but the film didn't just hit that mark. It exploded past it. We got the families, yes, but we also got the date night crowds. Adults with no children were coming to see it. And why? Because we didn't write down to kids. We included them. That's a big difference. We wrote something emotionally truthful, something that could connect with everyone. When I sit down to write, I ask myself, what moves me emotionally? What moments in my life have made me laugh, cry, feel vulnerable, or brave? Because chances are, if it moved me, it'll move someone else too. These are the universal truths that make for great family stories. No, I've never been a lion on the African plains, but I've definitely felt the crushing weight of responsibility, and I've felt the temptation to run away from it. No, I've never been a polar bear lost in the Arctic, but I've known the ache of loneliness and the unexpected joy of finding a friend when I needed one most. Those are the truths that I want to tell. And we wrap those truths in the skin of these beautiful, imaginative characters and worlds. We root for Dorothy to get home. We cry when Bambi finds the thicket, but his mother doesn't make it. We feel our hearts break when Simba nudges Mufasa, trying to wake him. And we cheer when Luke lets go and trusts the Force to destroy the Death Star. None of those stories were just for kids. They were stories for all of us, told with craft and love and purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, I love shows like Arcane, Blue-Eyed Samurai. They're incredible. But when it comes to what I want to create, I want to cast a wider net. I want to tell stories that everyone can share in together. I've felt that way ever since I started in animation back at Disney in the 80s. And I feel it even more now that I'm in my 50s with grown kids and grandkids of my own. I've lived a lot of life, and the stories I write come from that life that I've experienced. I want those stories to touch people, whether they're 8 or 88. So, yeah, I create family entertainment. But that doesn't mean it's just for kids. It means it's for all of us. Because good stories aren't about age, they're about heart. And heart is something we all share. So, thanks a lot, you guys. Go on out there, create a great story, put some beauty back into the world, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.